The food have the strawberry spaghetti and the chicken
Schnitzel.
no.
Brian, why don't you tell us about the animals that are in Germany?
The animals have wild boar, fox, badger, crab, and gecko.
Amber?
The horse have ten horses for life. Train.
Okay.
Nature in Germany. How do we
Well, Lucas, what kind of nature is in Germany? Is it like forest? Is it rainforest? Is it ice and snow? Like what kinds of nature is in Germany?
forest?
I'm asking Lucas.
Forest.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else on here that you want? Okay, so what's that? Okay, so what are some of the famous buildings that you learned about? They're hard to say. All right, well, that's okay. So, all right, thank you, William. It's not your team's turn. So, what would you say, I'm asking everybody on the team, what would you say is one big difference between Germany and Taiwan?
They are bigger than Taiwan.
Okay, the country's bigger than Taiwan, that's true. What else?
And the forest.
Maybe there's more forest in Taiwan?
And they speak English. Taiwan speak Chinese.
Do they speak English? They speak German.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, so does anybody in the class have any questions about Germany? Joey, you have a question?
So what the map dogs like to eat? What is the fox like to eat? Oh, like to eat meat.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions about Germany? Andrew?
What is the capital city?
Oh, that's actually on your board. What's the capital city of Germany? Yeah, Berlin. Good.
Berlin.
Roy, question? No? Anthony?
Why strawberries? I don't know.
Do you think it's because maybe strawberries grow in Germany and people like strawberries there?
I think.
Maybe.
I like strawberries.
All right, anybody else have any questions about Germany? All right, everybody give them a round of applause. All right, 3, 2, 1, begin.
We are the orange team and we learned a lot of things from Brazil. The animal in Brazil is the first animal is parrot. The parrot will, if you speak some word, the parrot will say that word too. Next animal is crocodile. The crocodile's body is very hard. Next one is toucan. The toucan's mouth is very deep. The last animal is jaguar. The jaguar along very fast.
Okay.
The food in Brazil is feijoada and farofa. The third one is barapa.
Okay, do you know what they're made out of? Like, is it like rice and beans?
This is a kind of soup, and this is a kind of food.
Okay, do you know what they taste like? Are they spicy? Are they sweet?
Not
sure. All right. Okay.
The 5 popular sports in Brazil is motor sports, football, volleyball, MMA, fighting, and tennis. The nature in Brazil is the Amazon rainforest, and it attracts a lot of visitors. The second one is Fernando something. It is a kind of green. Okay.
Okay. So the Amazon rainforest is very famous. So did you learn anything else about the Amazon rainforest? Well, is it? Looks like. It's what?
A lot of rain.
Yeah, it has a lot of rain. It's also the biggest rainforest in the world, right?
Yes.
Okay. So does anybody have any questions about Brazil? Andrew?
Who knows? You don't count them.
Yeah, probably millions, right?
Yes.
Anybody else have any questions? Francis?
How many animals is in the rainforest?
A lot.
Do you know?
A lot.
A lot? What do you think is like the most type of animals? Like, do you think it's mammals, birds, fish? Actually, Johnny, you're right. It's insects. There's the most different types of insects in the rainforest.
Crocodile. No. Bird.
All right. Anybody else have any questions about Brazil?
No.
All right, let's give them a round of applause.
In our yellow team, we learned about Canada. Canada's favorite food is the hamburger, chili, eggs benedict, and the pancakes, and the pie, and the brownies. And their famous people is
Keanu Reeves.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, okay?
John.
No, it's not.
Okay, fine. Melody?
No, we two together.
Okay, fine. So Sean, you go first.
Okay.
Canada's famous city is
Toronto.
and Ottawa.
And their famous landscapes is Banff National Park and Niagara.
Niagara. Okay, so I'm telling you, Niagara.
Canada's favorite sport is ice hockey. And this is we don't know.
The animals? Okay, so say like the animals from Canada are.
The animals from Canada are
Squirrels. Just squirrels? There's only squirrels in
No.
Canada?
Yes, he deleted one. No, I didn't.
All right, well, just because you only have squirrels on there, what other animals do you know that live in Canada?
Bears.
Bears, what else?
No, see.
Just bears and squirrels, that's it.
Beer.
What else?
And humans.
Beer.
Okay, so,
And people.
all right, so what do you think is one of the biggest differences between Canada and Taiwan?
Canada have
have bears.
It's
It's like the mascot of Taiwan.
No, that's China.
So, Livia, what do you think? What's a big difference between Taiwan and Canada? All right, I'm asking Livia. This is their turn, so everyone please be quiet. Livia, what do you think? What language do they speak in Canada? All right. Livia, what languages do they speak in Canada? What languages do they speak in Canada? English and, well, maybe some people, but there's two national languages.
I don't know. English.
English is one.
And then
Do you know? Sophie, this isn't your turn. All right, well, the other one, I'll give you a clue. It's the language from one of the other countries that are up here.
French. French.
Yeah, they speak
French.
French in some parts of Canada. All right, anybody have any questions about Canada? Do you? All right, Andrew? Well, do you know? All right, this team is like very unprepared. All right, so did you learn, like, is Canada the biggest country in the world?
No.
What number is it, do you know?
No.
Yeah, it's the second to biggest country in the world. Really?
No, the biggest is Russia.
That's right, the biggest country is Russia. Canada is the second to biggest country.
America.
Yeah.
America is the third one.
Mhm. All right, Anthony, question?
Why the Canada flag Russia?
Why does the Canada flag have a leaf on it? If you don't know, what do you think? Why do you think they have a leaf on the flag?
The president.
What is there lots of in Canada?
Oh,
Melanie, this is an English project. Well, they have lots of maple trees, and that is a maple leaf. All right, let's give Canada a round of applause.
We are green team and we learn the country's first. The Eiffel Tower is known for the amazing view.
This is French flag. They are known for their concert.
They are pleasant. They are freshly baked every day and friends and one of the hardest to make.
The roof is a popular media in France.
This is private stove. And this is wall. And this is
All right, so what language do they speak in France?
French and English.
French, some people speak English, hold it up.
Yeah, they speak English.
Okay, so what would you say is something that France and Taiwan have in common?
French is bigger than Taiwan.
Well, that's contrast. How would you compare? How would you compare France and Taiwan? Okay, they're both countries, but like, what's something in the country that's similar?
They both have flags.
Yeah, what are flags?
The rainbow has Taiwan and
Okay, so Annie, are you saying that both France and Taiwan like baking things?
yes.
Okay. So what was something that was surprising that you learned about France? Or something really interesting that you didn't know before? About the Eiffel Tower? What about it? Okay, so you learned the Eiffel Tower is in France. So what's the biggest city in France? It's the city that the Eiffel Tower is in. Yeah, it's Paris. So do you think what city do you think is bigger, Paris or Taipei?
Paris.
Paris is probably bigger.
Easy peasy.
All right. So does anyone have any questions about France?
No.
Andrew, a question?
No.
No? Nobody has any questions about France? All right, let's give them a round of applause.
We are the blue pink, with the country we learned about in New Zealand. The clothing in New Zealand is
Maori.
Maori clothing. The famous people are Peter Jackson and the Lord. The sports are parachute. Parachute is a kind of umbrella that when you jump you can fly slow. The second sport is snowboarding. Snowboarding is when you stand on a board and you do it in the snow.
The food is French fries are potatoes that are fried. Salmon is a kind of fish. It is famous. French fries, hamburger, and steak. Cheese is made by milk. The village, the hobby.
Okay, keep going.
The Hobby Village is a village in the mountains.
Oh, the Hobbit Village?
Yep,
So that's like where a movie took place, right?
I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, they filmed it. Do you know the movie The Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Yeah, they filmed that in New
Oh
Zealand.
no. Auckland is the biggest city in New Zealand.
The animals sheep in New Zealand are famous.
The kiwi bird is a bird like a kiwi shape. Snake, the nature. The mountains and seas are very pretty in New Zealand. And forests.
All right, nice job. So, what would you say is something that you could compare with New Zealand and Taiwan?
The flag colors.
Oh, that's true. The flag colors are the same. Okay, what else?
Have a French fries.
Okay. So, which country do you think has more people? Taiwan or New Zealand?
New Zealand.
Really? Taiwan has many more people than New Zealand. So, I think something interesting you guys talked about was the sports. So, why in New Zealand do you think people like parachuting?
Because it has many places.
Maybe there's a lot of planes and lots of nice mountain views. All right, nice job. Anybody have any questions about New Zealand? Sophie?
Is this a rainforest
Rainforest, okay. Yeah, New Zealand does have lots of rainforests. They're called temperate rainforests because they're cold. Not like the Amazon in Brazil where it's a hot place. All right, anybody else have any questions? All right, so we're going to round of applause.
We are the Indigo team and we learned about South Africa. This is South Africa's flag. South Africa's capital city is
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg. There's lots of wild animals in South Africa, like giraffe and elephant. In different places of South Africa, the weather is also different too. And the famous sport in South Africa is soccer. We can go to the Camps Boy Beach, Cape Town, South Africa to swim. On vacation, you can visit the Drakensberg National Park.
All right, very nice. So, I think South Africa is probably most famous for all the animals. So, what are the big five in South
The
Africa?
elephant, lion, buffalo, rhino, and the leopard.
So why are those called the big five?
Because people want to look like these five animals in South Africa.
Yeah, that's true, because those are the most,
famous.
they're some of the most famous animals, and they're also some of the hardest animals to see when you go visit. Okay? So, do you know how many languages are spoken in South Africa? So, South Africa actually has 11 national languages, but it's been said that there could be as many as 500 different languages in South Africa. All right, so what would you say is... All right, quiet please. William, thank you. What would you say is something very interesting or surprising that you learned about South Africa that you didn't know before? The nature?
Yeah, we don't know. South Africa have the nature so far.
So you didn't know like all the different types of nature that were there?
Yeah.
What did you think the nature was like before you learned about it?
No, I can see. I don't even know there was a national park.
Oh, okay. All right, well you guys did a nice job. Anybody have any questions about South Africa? Interesting country? No. Anybody have any questions? All right, let's give them a round of applause.
We have a virtual team and we learn about Thailand. The food have many pork and meat. Some vegetables is yummy. Some of Thailand food are sweet and sour. The Thailand animal have this is a handful fossils jaws from a sickle mine belong to a new species nocturnal primates called
Tarsiers.
tarsiers. The white Bengal tigers are distinctive due to the color of their fur. The nature has ancient ruins in Thailand. The sea in the Thailand the famous people have.
You don't have to try to say their name.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay. So who's...
Love, Sinawa, former primary.
Okay, yeah, that's a very hard name to say.
And the famous fighter. Slamar, Peya, Karun, New Age, Say Fighter, and Lisa from Blackpink.
All right. So what's the capital city of Thailand?
The capital city in Thailand is Bangkok.
Bangkok, okay. So what's famous in Bangkok? What can you see when you're there?
There is many tall buildings.
Tall buildings, and I see some pictures on your board.
The temple.
Yeah, lots of golden temples. So what's that you put onto your board that's sticking out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
It doesn't put a rock. It is the nature because I am first and there is a rock and there is a big ocean over the rock.
Okay, so it's supposed to look like the rocks and the mountains going into the oceans?
Yeah.
Okay. Have any of you ever been to Thailand?
No.
Well, I'm asking this group. All right, so Thailand is the closest country to Taiwan that any of the teams learned about. So what would you say is something that Thailand and Taiwan have in common?
The temple in Thailand is nothing as Taiwan.
So they both have temples, okay?
Yes. The Thailand temple is gold and big.
Okay, so are the temples in Taiwan also golden?
No.
Not usually. Okay. And what language do they speak in Thailand?
Wait.
Speak their own.
Yeah, they have their own language. It's called Thai. So, very interesting. So, what kind of weather does Thailand have?
It is hot and humid all year round.
Okay, hot and humid all year round. It's a very tropical country. All right. So, does anyone have any questions about Thailand? Sophie?
What does their dog have? Elephant.
Oh, elephant.
Well, maybe they just didn't talk about elephants, but because they wanted to talk about animals that they haven't learned about before. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? All right. Let's give them a round of applause.